So you're saying that because there's not enough access for sex work, there's a lot of people who are undercover seeking like affection or I guess sex from other outlets that aren't meant for that. Is that what you're saying?
That's one piece of it. And the other thing is because there's stigma around sex work.
Okay.
It's like, if you're talking to somebody who's like, yeah, last night, I had a call girl over and it was a lovely time and, a great experience. What are you thinking then? Are you thinking, well done, sir, for finding a way to get your needs met? Or are you thinking, why do you need to see a sex worker? Why can't you get a date? Right? There's this shame around it.
I think that shame exists. This is just my perception. That shame might also exist in just being like getting a professional cuddler.
Absolutely.
Right. So where do you draw the line between the person just finding shame and finding sex work versus also finding shame or just only finding shame with getting a professional cuddler? Because I don't think a lot of people are boasting about it at work. Oh, I hired a professional cuddler. I'm imagining that's just not a regular conversation because I've never had this conversation with anybody, and there is a large volume of professional cuddlers in the United States, right?
Compared to most things, no. There's like a tiny number.
Okay, so you guys are you guys are pretty niche, right?
Yes.
So even the clients that you do get, I'm going out on a limb to say they're not ranting and raving about their professional cuddling session at work.
Mostly, you're absolutely right. Right. And what I would say is there is a level of shame associated with seeking sex work, and there's also a level of shame for a lot of people. And if not shame, then, and I would say there's two different things. Shame and fear of judgment are not the same thing, right? So if I do something that I'm like, this is a good thing I'm doing, but I'm worried that other people are going to judge me.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But if I do another thing where I do it and it feels awful to me, right? I have trouble accepting myself. That's shame.
Fair enough. That makes sense. Do you feel like people were more or less comfortable with the idea of professional cuddling during the COVID shutdowns and so on and so forth? To
be honest, I don't know because I wasn't seeing people as a professional cuddler during lockdown. And until the vaccine became available, I wasn't seeing any clients after COVID started.
So how about now, like post-vaccine, do you feel like there's a rise in the amount of people that are seeking this type of service or their level of comfort with it is changing? What are you seeing?
I don't think that there is more people seeking it necessarily than there were prior to COVID.
Okay.
Necessarily. I don't get a ton of clients to begin with. Is that
because you're not actively putting yourself out there, or because there's just not that many clients to go around?
There are fewer clients for men.
There it is.
I'm not super active in putting myself out there, right? I'm not marketing all the time.
Okay.
You talk to Sam, you talk to Keely, I think, and those are people who are pretty active in their business.
Got it. But do you feel like it's easier for a woman to get clients as a professional cuddler?
It's vastly easier for a woman to get clients, but I think it's a little bit easier for a woman to get good clients.
What's considered a good client?
What do you think for a professional? What do you think is a good client?
I don't know. Somebody keeps coming back and pays on time. I don't know.
Somebody who keeps coming back, pays on time, is respectful of the boundaries you set out, and wants what you're actually offering.
Got it. So as a male professional cuddler, you feel as though people don't take you seriously.
I don't think that was what I said at all.
What I mean by that is if they're not respecting your boundaries.
Oh, no. People usually are respecting my boundaries when they show up for a session.
You just said a woman, it's easier for her to get good clients, and a good client is also indicative of someone who's respecting your boundaries.
Right. So the difference I was making there is for a woman, let's say for a man, it's hard to get people inquiring about your services.
Okay.
For a woman, it's easier to get people inquiring, but a higher percentage of those people are going to not be good clients. They're going to be seeking. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you're saying, got it. You're saying they won't respect a woman's boundaries.
Right. So let's say a woman who's a professional cuddler gets 10 client requests and I get 1, right?
Okay.
Probably my client. Let's say I get
Sounds
2.
like a dating app swipe series.
There's some similarities there. There really are.
Anyway, go ahead.
No,
for those who don't know, the average woman gets 100% match ratio on an app. A man probably gets like 10%. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm aware of that, and I think it's another whole conversation, right? But like that numbers game, there. But like, let's say I get 2 client requests, one of them works out.
Okay,
that's not uncommon for me. Let's say Sam gets 10, and 5 of those aren't actually good referrals. They're not people who really want cuddling. Or
she's got to filter through a bigger rigmarole of nonsense before she has
exactly.
But you're saying
said.
But you're saying as a man you might get less inquiries, but the quality of your clients are better.
I'm going to have fewer good quality clients. I'm going to have fewer clients of any kind whatsoever.
You said you're going to have fewer good quality clients?
I'm going to have fewer of every client. So that's the thing is, if she gets a bunch of inquiries.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. A woman gets 10 inquiries.
Yeah.
It might take her 10 minutes and it might take you 10 days. I don't know. But the point is 10 inquiries.
Yeah.
You're saying half of her inquiries won't be genuine people who are really seeking for what the service is made for? Half of them will.
It will take. So, I mean, the other piece of it is how do you market, right? And at this point, for example, Sam is pretty good at putting herself out there in such a way that the people she wants to work with are the people who are coming to her.
In either case, you made the statement that for a woman, the boundaries are crossed more.
Yes.
Right? So the point is, I imagine with a man, the boundaries are crossed less.
Yes.
Okay. So that's really what I was trying to get at. And it's very evident in the sense of like, okay, if they have a greater pool of people that they're selecting from, there's probably a greater pool of bad people as well, right?
That's actually not how I look at it. The way I see it is more often, like straight men are more often taught to seek power over the people they're around.
Okay.
Or be disrespectful of boundaries.
Okay.
And I think women and gay men who are used to having interactions where men are hitting on them are a lot more aware of boundaries and able to respect them.
Okay. So